Hello, my beautiful spiritual family, new people that are tuning in for the first time. I wanted to give you a bit of an energy update today because every now and then I feel like there's this really massive impact that's happening on the planet. And I usually see it in my clients. I usually see it in my family or loved ones or friends. And it's something that I'll occasionally kind of comment on and get a bit of a tune in to what's happening in the world at large. And when I'm channeling, sometimes I'll get very similar information to what I'm receiving outside of me. And so that is when I'll probably post something and put something up there for you guys.
You're listening to the Intuitive Mastery Podcast. Hi, I'm Kate Connolly, and with over 15 years of intuitive healing and teaching experience, I'm here to help you celebrate intuition and value authenticity to create a world where you have the freedom to live your best life. This podcast is here to teach you how to apply the principles of spirituality, healing, and mindset to have true and lasting joy, all from the inside out. This is the Intuitive Mastery Podcast.
Today, what I've noticed really specifically is there is this enormous digging at the bottom of the well for people. And what I mean by that is, personally, this is something that I've actually seen within myself for the first time in probably years. So I literally do healing for a living, right? I do healing for myself. I do healing for other people. I run an entire intuitive mastery school that's all around healing, intuition, connecting to your spirit guides. Like it's a deep dive into spirituality in yourself. And most of the time, no matter what's happening around the world, no matter what's happening personally or whatever, I can pretty much always have an awareness of the bigger picture. I can pretty much always have an understanding about what's going on. And I can pretty much always detach. And that has not been the case in the last couple of weeks. Now, when you dive into spirituality and when you kind of dive into personal healing and growth. So spirituality is not where we're worshiping gurus and we're doing any of that. For me, spirituality is very much just to dive into yourself, like learning more about who you are, how you show up in the world, how do you create, how are we all like helping the planet right now? What are we doing? How are we seeing the bigger picture? How do we see beyond the five senses into what's actually happening? You know, we dive into things like quantum mechanics and healing and channeling and connection to the unseen world, which is something that is highly unappreciated, but also incredibly powerful. And it's becoming more and more normal. It's becoming more and more popular. And people are starting to realize that, yes, our world is more than the five senses that we have in front of us. And when I see people in pain, they dive into this element of unconscious incompetence, which is that they don't realize all the stuff that they're doing to sabotage their own lives, you know, behavior, emotions, experiences, whatever's happening to them. They're not aware that that's what's actually going on. And the awareness becomes part of the bigger picture. Now, I have not been unaware for years and years and years. And it's only been in the last couple of weeks that I've actually had to stop and look at myself and go, wow, I've really contributed to this situation. This situation only unfolded this way because of me. I really need to do some diving into my stuff right now. I really need to figure out what's going on. And there's been some really big stuff. There's been abandonment things, which I literally haven't had to deal with for 10 years. There's been stuff around past lives, witch lives, burnt at the stake, things like that, which again, 10 years ago, did all of that. 15 years ago, like that was done for me. Really being aware of how much I'm empathing people around me and how much that is affecting my behavior And in the Intuitive Mastery School at the moment, we're deep diving into energy protection. So this is like a really big awareness at the moment in class. And for me personally is, what am I doing with my energy? What am I doing with my intentions? What part of me isn't healing that's creating this continual situational issues in my life? And a lot of it is coming back to this concept of radical responsibility. If you are noticing that there's chaos in your life, if you are noticing that there are relationships that just don't seem to be moving forward, if you realize that there is abundance issues, peace issues, especially if you are the female in the household, and as much as I hate to say it, females do have a lot more tools at their disposal in terms of energy work and spirituality at the moment. That is not a blanket statement, it's a generalization. But that means that the onus of how your family is functioning, what's happening abundantly, what's happening in terms of money and things like that, but also in terms of the functioning of the household, it's all on the woman. Now, if you're in a same-sex couple, it could be both of you or whoever's holding that more divine feminine space. If you are not sure if you're single, then obviously it's all going to be on you. But typically, as especially if you have children, dependents, people that rely on you, the energy of how that house functions is 100% on your shoulders. And this is something that I'm really stepping into. It's so easy to blame other people for their behavior. And quite frankly, I think the biggest lesson at the moment is not trying to change anyone's behavior. We all have to learn how to stay in our own lane, and we all have to learn how to create from that place. The quantum physics laws dictate that your world is only a reflection of what you think, feel, and vibrate. So if your world is in chaos, there is something internally that's in chaos. If your world is not in abundance, there's something inside of you that's not in abundance. Now, we can do empathic work all we want, as in releasing energies and behaviors that don't belong to us, release, release, release. Absolutely. And that will be affecting our energy. Yes. And it will be affecting how we show up. But ultimately, there is still going to be some part of us that's inviting that situation in. And we are going to have to dive into what that means for us. What is actually happening that we need to understand ourselves more deeply. Okay, I'm going to leave that with you, but this is what's happening energetically everywhere. I've got people messaging me left, right, and center saying, I'm in crisis, my child's in crisis, big crisis. People that I haven't spoken to for years that are messaging me going, oh my gosh, crisis, crisis, crisis. And I think it's because these energies are actually getting us to really scrape the bottom of the barrel here. Like if there's stuff that we think we've done but is coming back up, it's not done. I'd love to say it is, but it's not. Even for me, I'm like, wow, I really thought I'd done this stuff. And for the most part, like I said, I haven't been faced with this unconscious incompetence for many, many, many years. And I was kind of semi-conscious, but not fully conscious. And then I realized, wow, I've actually got some big stuff. And I had some really interesting kind of past life information come to me when I decided to dive into that healing. And it's woken me up again to another level. And this is what the world is asking of all enlightened, awakened spiritual people. Step up, guys. Like, find whatever it is that's creating that reflection for you. Dive into it, heal it, move forward, upgrade, change, shift, step into the person you're meant to be. The energies are not letting us get away with it at all. And these disturbances feel very palpable, relationships, close relationships, career, money. Look at what's happening in the world. There's chaos everywhere. And we are absolutely emboldened right now to make sure that our internal world is the peace in the storm, because that then becomes the attractive field. And imagine if everyone on the world could do this, if everyone could let go of the chaos happening externally and come internally and just feel that sense of I am presence. get rid of the pain, get rid of the noise, and just sit in their truth. How different would the world be? I think that's really exciting. If you want to join me in my Intuitive Mastery School, we are working through energetic protection at the moment. We are deep diving. We are doing live workshops every week to help you show up in the best possible way that you can to deal with stress and drama and trauma and things that are happening in your life that you feel completely powerless to shift. Energy work works. It does absolutely help to shift everything in your reality so that you can feel really calm and balanced. And if you do find stuff that's coming up that is yours that you do need to work on, then we do have the tools to help you move through that so that you can continue to become the best person that you can be. And that is my alarm. I have to get off. Enjoy your day. Lots of love.